Daily Quick Sketch Day 41. For this one, I kind of wanted to deviate or go away from this dreamlike, soft, pinkish scenery or environment feeling. I kind of wanted to do something different for this one. So I decided to do a industrial scene, like a industrial environment, like a factory where you can see some, like a big hole. That was like the biggest idea for me. I kind of wanted to mix up like a big hole as the focus point into nothingness, combined with an industrial theme. So I decided to make this cylindrical hole where all these tubes go into. Where it's beginning with the floor, the hole itself, and then starting with the first pipe. I then just used an array modifier to duplicate that pipe all around, so there are multiple ones that go into the hole itself. I put in some detail into these screws and these attachments that are attached to the floor. I put some detail on that and just tried to put a little bit more effort into this one, because it's on the weekend, so I usually put in a little bit more effort into these ones, give myself like more than just half an hour that I usually do on stream, and try to add some more detail, try to, I don't know, just make it a little bit more interesting. Because I think what I'm kind of struggling right now with, or what I'd still try to improve on, is the mix between details and big shapes when it comes to environmental design. What I mean is, usually you should be able to tell what kind of scenery you're looking at, or overall what kind of object or scenery, as I said before, you're looking at before you even see the details. And sometimes I'm kind of struggling to get the mix right between adding details to make it look better and beforehand putting in a good groundworks to give the environment a good characteristic that then shapes the whole image. I think with this one it looks pretty good. I try to put in the big elements first before I start adding stuff like these screws or smaller, like the attachment itself, the tiles on the floor that I'd use a shader for, and overall just trying to keep everything big. And then when I think I have a good basis, I can then go over to the next step, which is just adding more and more detail. As you said just right there, I basically used a image texture for my emission shaders. That's what I usually do now, because that's just, I think, looks just better, because then you can add some more texture to your emission shader. I think that just looks better overall. For this one I used an image from my inspirations folder, and I added a noise texture to the location socket on the mapping node. I played around with the settings of the noise texture, and then you can basically like blur out your image, so you can't really see it anymore. I think that fit quite well for some kind of lava in the hole, so I use that for that, and also for the liquid in the pipes itself. And then, as you can see right there, I also added some smoke. I like to put my node where I dictate how the smoke should look like how I shape the smoke. I put that into the emission shader or emission strength first in the principal volume node to be able to see better how it looks in the end. Because with the density, if you put it into the density, it can be quite hard to see. If you put it in the emission, it's way brighter, and you can very easily see how the shape's gonna look like. And then I'm just gonna switch it back to the density. Then I also added some lights just to give it some more lighting overall. It was pretty dark. And then just went into shading, put in some different nodes to give these objects a bump map, and also a roughness texture, just to add just a little bit more detail, make it look a little bit more realistic. And overall just trying to give it some more like not only 3D details but also texture details, adding a roughness map to the tiles on the floor as well, so they're not like universally shiny, but adding a noise texture, adding that using a mix RGB multiply node to have different like a different glossiness on the individual tiles. I think really helps sell this look and make it look even more realistic than it was before. And that's basically the image. I added some more finer clouds in Photoshop, tweaked the colors and all that, and that's the final image. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll see you next time, and hope you have a great day. And yeah, take care.